Hi guys, I'm going to read something to you. Hopefully you can hear me in this video. It's something that I wrote today, and I'm not too big on sharing my writings with anyone. It's about my bias towards men, I'll say that, which is something very complicated to me. I'll go into detail afterwards, because in this I don't go into much detail, but I do think that it's something that I want to share, not that I should. I'll go ahead and read it. It's kind of long. I titled it The Gardener, the Bee, and the Flower. Misandry, the dislike of, contempt for, or prejudice toward men, not a system backed by centuries of power imbalances, but a feeling grown in quiet, dark places, felt and whispered behind hands, born from the wounds of our mothers and grandmothers. It's a bruise that forms over time, every once in a while, pressed to check if it's still there. It's not institutionalized, but internalized. This bias almost always comes from lived experience and patterns we develop as a way of self-preservation, assimilation, etc. Often I'll dismiss my own misandry. I've developed to be distant from men, to not trust them or relate to them. I don't trust them, and that is from my lived experience. Misandry for me doesn't stem from hatred, but at times has bloomed into it. Petal by petal, parts of me have bloomed just to be plucked by a man. He loves me not. It's hard to love the gardener when he has nothing to do with tending to the garden, but feels entitled to its fruits. But not every gardener, right? How could I begin to discern who is aware of the fragility of me? It's easy to pass by a pretty flower and pluck it from the ground, but how would you know how many times it's been snatched from its roots and stripped of its petals? Eventually, the flower goes back, hopefully stronger than before, but definitely fearing the next passerby. My distrust for men isn't abstract. It has voices, faces, and handprints. Misandry seems more like a mask for exhaustion than anything. But are these patterns I've formed protecting me or trapping me? Woman to woman, a relationship like a bee to a cosmo, a type of symbiosis where each other benefits, not by taking, not by plucking. A woman does not pluck the petals and leaves what's left. She bends down, sniffs the flower, and leaves it where it bloomed. I've never felt like a woman has tried to tear me apart and mold me into how she sees fit. I think the women I've had the pleasure of being with have seen me for me, parts of me I can't see, and parts of them in me. I've seen women hold hands around their shared wounds like they're passing around an heirloom. Nothing is different in the way that women have also broken promises, lied, abandoned, and thrown me away. But for me, I know that women don't recognize my tenderness for weakness. I'm not naive to the truth that everyone can hurt. And maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but even the hurt is different. Not smaller, not gentler, but less about power. My vulnerability isn't something for her to extract and collect, because it's something she already possesses. Maybe that's the quiet truth at the center of my misandry. It's less about hate and more about what I've had to protect. The way my body remembers every time a man mistook tenderness for an open door he could walk through. The way my mind learned to flinch before it learned to trust. Those patterns shape you, whether you want them to or not. And after enough petals are taken, the walls of the garden grow and grow without you realizing it. The fence I name preference, intuition, and protection is but an obstacle to how much I want to love. With enough nurture, the vines of the garden learn to overgrow the fence. It fearlessly spreads beyond its confines and connects to what's around it. The bee never considers plucking the flower. Only the gardener feels compelled to. And even when the gardener returns to pull the weeds, the dandelion has already learned to scatter her seeds. She survives by spreading herself elsewhere. All she can hope is that the next passerby lets the whole garden billow freely in the wind. And if they choose to pick at the garden, it will remain wild, persistent, ready to rise again. That was me. Okay, so wrote that, and I think that it speaks for itself, because I think it finally, I'm able to capture something that I have been feeling for so long, which is this discomfort around men. And it's not so much that it's because of a man I'm uncomfortable. It's because of my experiences that I'm uncomfortable. This is not to pin women and men against each other. My issues with women are a completely different topic, and everything here has nuance and different things to be considered. I feel like I have a true uncomfortableness, whatever, around men. And I think it really shapes the way that I interact with the men around me, the men that are in my life. And I don't like that, because me, to my core, I believe that everyone that I choose to be around is a reflection of myself. There's so many bugs. I think they're fornicating on that tree right now. I think if I stare at them, they'll come over here. Nope. Shit. Anyway, I don't want to be the person that doesn't want to see someone fully for who they are because of my own experiences, because of where other men have wronged me. Now I'm incapable of seeing other men as like safer, just themselves, you know? What other men have done to me is not a reflection on every man that I have met and will meet, right? Everyone is unique, and I think I've let myself get away with this disdain for men. But I think as I mature, I'm gaining true discernment between people and what is right for me, who is right for me, and who deserves to be around me. I just want to love everyone in their uniqueness and how they're different from me. I love people who are different from me because those people have so much to teach me. And there's an entire demographic of people that I'm just not considering because a handful of them have hurt me in the past. Being taken advantage of before. All I'm doing now is allowing myself and allowing those men to continue to take advantage of me if I do nothing to stop my prejudice, my bias against future men. These walls that I put up, that I name intuition, preference, and protection, and all those walls that I put up, I can put labels on them, call them boundaries, call them whatever. But really, are those walls really protecting me? Or are they trapping me in the mindset that I'm already in? Are they making it incapable for me to grow? I want to be able to love everyone, and I want to be able to grow and spread my love. I was gonna say spread my seed to keep the garden analogy going, but that don't sound right. I have so much to learn from everyone around me, and like I said, I don't want to cut off a demographic and what they can offer me and what I can offer them because I'm scared of them. And that's why I don't think this is true hatred, because I don't have a hatred for men. I have a hatred for the way that previous men have treated me, and I project that onto every man that I meet now. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to trust people again. For so long, I've had a guard up. I've had this wall up. It's just not me. And I've outgrown the walls of my garden. And I just want to continue to spread everywhere. And I want to experience things. I want to trust people. And I want to bring new people into my life. Whether their connections with me are fleeting or not, I want to be able to safely bring people into my life that are capable of loving me and that are capable of teaching me things. I mean, it's hard because from my very first breath in this world, before I was even freaking conceived, a man was there to let me down. God bless my father for who he is now, but oh my God, he was the very first man to let me down. He was supposed to show me love. He is the very first person that taught me about lies. He taught me to distrust. When that's your foundation, everything else that's built on that foundation after that is bound to crumble. Every other relationship built on that foundation is bound to come down. I don't need to be that way, right? Like I said, if I continue this way of thinking, all it does is become a cycle. It just becomes a way of me to stay put, for those men in my past to have control over me. And so if I can come out of that, if I can realize that I'm in control and that there is nothing to be scared of, that is so powerful to me. Why am I incapable of loving men and women the same way? And it's because of the way that my love has been taken and crumbled by most men in my life. You, sir, are not going to continue to be a reflection of all men. I wrote that to finally put everything into words, how I feel. And like I said, it's not like I'm naive to the fact that women haven't hurt me or can hurt me. All of this is to say is me. It's the way that I am feeling. It's not meant for someone else to be like, oh, well, I don't feel this way, so I object. I don't give a fuck how you feel. And if you don't give a fuck how I feel, bye. Like, hello, bye. Hello, bye. If you really think about it, when it comes to the way that women are treated in the world, women have been oppressed forever, everywhere. The way that we face oppression now as women is the same way our daughters, our granddaughters will experience it, in the same exact way that our mothers and our grandmothers experienced it. You have to forgive me for holding a distrust for men, right? And then on top of that, you're gonna add in the way that men have taken advantage of me before. Forgive me if I don't see men as a whole as a safe place to go to. But I think that what's important is reflecting. And yes, self-preservation is something that all of us have, but I think it comes to a point where you have to realize what is there to protect you and what is there holding you back. Am I truly sticking to the motto of me loving everyone for who they are and, not casting judgment on people for superficial things? There's nothing more superficial than what we can see with the eye. And if I go based off of what I see, and what I see is that you're a man, who am I? I am no better than anyone else who I don't want to be like. I don't want to be that person that just blindly hates people or just blindly distrusts people. And I think that you have to be someone who is tapped in and in tune with themselves to want to change your perspective. And that's who I am. And like I said, there's just a demographic of people that I'm neglecting completely. I also do believe that my embrace of men nowadays will help me to heal. If I'm able to embrace and create new patterns and new ways of thinking towards men, I will be able to heal and realize that I do have power and I do have a say in my relationship with other people, not even just men, then I'll be fine. But I've had some experience in life to be able to discern who is right for me and who is wrong for me. And that doesn't just come down to men, but that's everyone, right? This is just a stream of consciousness, and I just wanted to break down how that writing made me feel. Oh my god, there's a bee. I'm the flower and that's a bee. Oh, guys, the bee. It's on my iPad. Okay, I think that's my cue to leave. Maybe that was symbiotic. Not symbiotic. Maybe that was symbolic from the universe telling me that I'm on the right path. I think that bee had a purpose to be here. I hope that me helping myself today also helps someone else. Women I hold in such high regard, not comparing them to men, but just in general. And I think that's because women have taught me a lot. Also, what I wrote about was I've seen women share their wounds like they're passing around an heirloom. And I think that's very true because I think that women have an understanding that we are fragile and our experiences make us fragile. And I'm not saying this to compare it to men, but just if you think about the misogyny in the world, I think if women got in a room and talked about it, we'd all have something to say. every single one of us. Like I said, this is something that's been going on for centuries. This is way bigger than us now. So that's what I'm comparing it to. It's not the fact that men are incapable of sharing their wounds with one another. It's just the fact that we as women have been hurt in so many ways and will continue to be hurt in so many ways. And we're meant to just do what? Like, women have an expectation to be so inviting and to kind of put their heads down and to not say anything. Even just now as a woman, like, it's always in our faces, it's in our laws, it's in our news, in our media, it's in everyday life, everything that we consume. You see the misogyny and how it's just in our faces. So that's why I say forgive me for the way that I approach men in this world. Forgive me, but I think that what true resilience is being hurt and being able to grow from that hurt. And that's where I am.